When my husband, Rayhan, announced he'd landed a job in Iran, my heart sank. The thought of him leaving me behind sparked a firestorm of emotions. "Why do you have to go so far away?" I demanded, my voice trembling with fear and frustration. Rayhan's face darkened. "I've been searching for a decent job abroad for years, Mariam. Now that I've finally got one, you're turning it into a drama." His words stung, and I couldn't hold back. "If you were just going to leave me, why did we even get married?" I shot back, tears welling up. "You see, ours was a love marriage, a choice that Rayhan's family never accepted. They'd made the disapproval clear, so we'd set up our own home, away from their judgment. But now, the idea of him moving to Iran left me feeling stranded. My own family wasn't an option either. My sisters-in-law had made such a spectacle of my marriage that I couldn't bear to face them. The thought of being alone, with no one to turn to, fueled my outburst. The argument dragged on, heated and raw, until Rayhan stormed out, slamming the door behind him. The sound echoed in our small flat, and I collapsed onto the sofa, sobbing. My eyes grew red, my face swollen, as an hour ticked by. When Rayhan finally returned, his temper had cooled, as it always did. He took one look at me and softened instantly. "Mariam, why are you crying like this? What's the big deal?" he asked, sitting beside me. "Everyone goes abroad to work for a few years, builds a better future, and comes back. I'll be back soon, and this job could change our lives, give us a proper home, good schools for our kids, a secure future." His voice was gentle, but I couldn't stop the tears. "Tell me what you want," he said, exasperated, running a hand through his hair. "Should I stay here forever, scraping by, barely making ends meet?" I wiped my eyes and took a deep breath. "I'm not trying to hold you back, Rayhan. I just want to go with you. If I'm by your side, I won't be anxious, and you won't have to worry about me from thousands of miles away. I want to be with you, whether it's here or in Iran." He fell silent, his brow furrowed in thought. After a long pause, he nodded. "All right, I'll see what I can do." My heart lifted, and I threw my arms around him, grateful for his willingness to try. Over the next 3 months, Rayhan pulled every string he could, navigating paperwork and logistics to ensure I could join him. Finally, we left Pakistan behind, embarking on a new chapter in Iran. Life in Iran was a shock to the system. Rayhan's job had no fixed hours. Mornings started on time, but his return was unpredictable, sometimes stretching late into the night. I was left to manage everything: groceries, household chores, bills. It was overwhelming. Back in Pakistan, I'd never ventured into markets alone, let alone haggled for vegetables or navigated crowded stalls. Rayhan showed me the local market near our flat in a bustling Iranian neighborhood, but the language barrier made it daunting. I didn't speak Persian, so I relied on gestures, pointing at items and nodding shyly as shopkeepers handed me my purchases. I'd keep my head down, hurrying home to our quiet flat, where the silence felt heavier each day. Rayhan came home exhausted, often collapsing into bed without a word. I couldn't bring myself to complain. After all, coming to Iran was my choice, and I didn't want to burden him further. One thing in the market caught my attention. Alongside cow and goat milk, I kept noticing bottles of mare's milk for sale. It was bizarre. I'd never seen it in Pakistan, and I wasn't even sure if it was okay to consume. Yet, I saw local women buying it regularly, their faces calm and purposeful. My curiosity piqued. One evening, as Rayhan and I sat over dinner, I couldn't resist asking, "Rayhan, did you know they sell mare's milk in the market?" He looked up, surprised. "Really? Maybe people here drink it," he said with a shrug, then chuckled. "You're always playing detective, Mariam. Don't overthink it." I laughed it off, but the question nagged at me. Why was it so common here? What was it used for? The isolation began to wear me down. Back home, I was a chatterbox, always surrounded by friends, laughing and sharing stories. In Iran, I felt like I was in a cage, my voice stifled by the language barrier and the lack of familiar faces. One evening, I told Rayhan, "I can't keep living like this. It's too lonely." He sighed, rubbing his tired eyes. "I warned you, Mariam. Life here isn't easy. You could have stayed in Pakistan, and we'd have saved more money by now. His words stung, but I pushed back. I'm not saying I want to go back. I want to make friends here, build a life. He raised an eyebrow, skeptical. With whom? You don't speak Persian, and you don't know anyone. I was undeterred. There are women in the neighborhood. I'll find a way. The language barrier was my biggest obstacle, so I turned to YouTube, spending hours learning basic Persian. I started with simple words, hello, thank you, how much, then moved to full sentences. At the market, I tested my new vocabulary, stumbling through phrases. To my delight, shopkeepers began to understand me, their nods and smiles boosting my confidence. It felt like a small victory in an otherwise lonely routine. 2 months later, Rayhan came home with news. His colleague Aslan had invited us to dinner, but he hesitated to bring me along. They're locals, Mayim. You'll feel out of place without the language. I grinned, surprising him. I've been learning Persian. I can handle it. His jaw dropped. He hadn't known about my secret lessons. Reluctantly, he agreed to take me. At Aslan's home, his wife, Mansha, greeted me with such warmth that it felt like we'd known each other forever. To my surprise, she spoke some Urdu, making conversation easier. Over a delicious meal in a cozy room, we bonded instantly. She asked about Pakistan, her eyes lighting up as she shared her dream of visiting someday. I opened up about my struggles in Iran, the loneliness, the strangeness of it all. I've only been here a few months, and I'm already so bored, I admitted. Mansha smiled kindly. Come over whenever you like, or I'll visit you. We can go to the market together. My husband works long hours too, so I know how it feels. We exchanged numbers, and I left feeling a spark of hope. On the way home, I couldn't stop talking about her. Rayhan teased, how do you make friends so fast? I laughed. Women understand each other. Plus, she's as lonely as I am. We'll get along just fine. 2 days later, Mansha showed up at my door, inviting me to the market. I'd started wearing a large black chador, like the local women, to blend in, a shift from my life in Pakistan, where I rarely covered up. We headed to the market, chatting as best we could with my broken Persian and her smattering of Urdu. While shopping, I noticed her buying mare's milk again. My curiosity got the better of me. Mansha, why do you buy that when you've already got cow's milk? She gave me a strange look and moved on without answering. My stomach dropped. Had I offended her? Our friendship was so new, and I feared I'd ruined it. I stayed quiet for the rest of the trip, kicking myself for prying into her personal choices. Back at my flat, I apologized. Mansha, I'm so sorry if I asked something I shouldn't have. She looked surprised. No, it's not that. The market just wasn't the place to talk about it. Didn't you see the shopkeeper staring? Some things are private. Relieved she wasn't upset, I nodded, but my curiosity burned brighter. That evening, I called my mum in Pakistan. Do you know what mare's milk is used for? I asked. She was as baffled as me. We've only ever used cow or buffalo milk, beta. Later, I pestered Rayhan again. Half asleep, he mumbled, I'll ask Aslan tomorrow, before drifting off. I scoured YouTube, but found nothing concrete. My detective instincts were in overdrive. Why was this milk such a mystery? A few days later, Mansha invited me to the market again. Her warm, normal demeanor reassured me she wasn't upset. This time, I waited until we were back at my place, sharing a lunch of Pakistani biryani I'd made, her favorite. Over food, I gently broached the subject. Mansha, if it's okay, can I ask why you buy mare's milk? Is it for a recipe? She smiled softly, a hint of shyness in her eyes, then opened up. It's not for cooking. I give it to Aslan, she said. I blinked, shocked. To Aslan. Why? She hesitated, her cheeks flushing, then explained. We've been married 3 years, and it's been wonderful, but life here is tough. The heat, the long working hours, it drains you. Aslan comes home exhausted, barely able to talk, let alone spend time with me. It affects his energy, his mood, even our closeness. Mare's milk has more protein than cow's milk. It gives him a boost, helps him feel stronger. It's brought us closer, and I'm hopeful it'll help us start a family soon. She looked at me. Haven't you noticed Rayhan's been different here? Less attentive, always tired. It's the climate, the workload. Her words struck a chord. Since arriving in Iran, Rayhan had been distant, not the warm, attentive husband I knew in Pakistan. Mansha continued, mare's milk is nutritious, good for digestion, and perfectly halal. Many women here give it to their husbands to keep them energized and maintain their connection. It's safe, even for those with cow's milk allergies. I was stunned but intrigued. I decided to give it a try. The next market trip, I bought some and offered it to Rayhan. To my surprise, it worked. He seemed less worn out, more like his old self. Our evenings became warmer, our conversations livelier, and I felt a renewed sense of hope. Soon after, Mansha shared the joyful news of her pregnancy. With her family living in another city, I stepped in, checking on her, cooking for her, and keeping her company. When she gave birth to a healthy girl, she named her Maryam after me, a gesture that touched me deeply. Not long after, I discovered I was pregnant too, and Mansha was there for me, just as I'd been for her. Our friendship became a lifeline, transforming the loneliness of life abroad into something bearable, even beautiful. Living in Iran taught me resilience, the value of friendship, and the surprises that come with embracing a new culture, like the unexpected role of mare's milk. It's funny how moving to a new country opens your eyes to things you'd never imagined. Have you ever encountered something unexpected like that in your travels? What was it like?